Geopolitical
storms are destroying the planet, and Russia in the center of these events. Sanctions, limitations, economic relations distorted. The global economy is changing rapidly. Now it's a time of the new era. Objectively, it's the era when the world is multipolar. Russia responds to the challenges, extends the potential, and strengthens the relations. It is in the top 5 of global economies, thanks to new friends and partners. We have numerous partners in Asia and in the Pacific, in Africa, in Latin America. We have good relations with most of organizations that have been created by developing countries. The support of Russia are strong regions, just like the Republic of Bashkortostan, the land of a fantastic culture, fantastic nature, hospitable people, and advanced technologies. Over the years, being a part of Russia, Bashkortostan has proven to be able to be a friend. The Republic has the ambition to become a player on the international market, creates favorable investment climate, and lends a hand, becomes a bridge that unites Russia and the rest of the world with their traditions and history. Peoples of our areas have proven that none of religious or linguistic differences can come in our way. Welcome the moderator of the plenary session, Russian journalist, TV host of 60-minute news flash, Evgeny Popov. Hello, dear friends, dear ladies and gentlemen. I'm so happy to see you here in the town of Sibay, the Republic of Bashkortostan. It's a hospitable and extremely busy forum. Now we are going to hold the plenary session that, to my mind, will encourage us to attract more investments, both in the Russian economy and the local economy, in particular in the Republic of Bashkortostan. Of course, we are facing the challenging times, as you could have seen in the video where the Ministry of International Affairs, Foreign Affairs, Sergei Lavrov mentioned the multipolar world. But we now are witnesses of the Russian economic wonder. I guess that you will agree with me. However strong the oppression is, we will never bend. I am very glad that we meet each other in Bashkortostan. I'm very glad that we are not in the capital city of Bashkortostan, but in a small town, because it is an indicator of development, of improvement, of progress, of us being enthusiastic about moving forward, attract investments. We are international. We have many friends and partners. Bashkortostan is one of the advanced regions of Russia. For example, this region supplies us with every 5th liter of petroleum. For us, development means moving forward. I suggest inviting the speakers of the plenary session. Of course, first of all, I would like to invite Radi Habirov, the head of the Republic of Bashkortostan. Along with that, Alexander Smikalin, the CEO of the Association of Innovative Regions of Russia.
Dilshot
Ahmetov, Deputy Minister of Investments, Industry and Trade of the Republic of Uzbekistan.
Zhao
Zhao Jun, Deputy Head
Заместитель начальника канцелярии
of the Foreign Affairs Office of Gansu Province, People's Republic of China.
и Ибрахим
And Ibrahim
Лары,
Mir Mahmoud Oghulari, Chairperson of the Board of Directors of Mir Holding.
Конечно, уважаемые друзья,
Of course, dear friends, we are starting with the hosts of the event. The Republic of Bashkortostan is a record-breaking region. We all know about the results that this region has achieved. When it comes to the international investments under current challenging circumstances, last year the investments increased by 7%. This is an outstanding result for a Russian region, and it took a lot of efforts to achieve that. Mr. Habirov, what vectors are you focusing on right now? What do you suggest for our international investors to invest in? And of course,
вас
we are waiting.
тейков, да, сейчас как принято говорить.
We expect you to also outline some challenging takes, so to say, that you face, because we also want to know your local secrets of your economic development, because unless you overcome these obstacles, it is very hard to grow.
Спасибо большое.
Thank you so much. Good day, everyone. Evgeny, if you allow me, I will probably expand the agenda. First of all, I would like to greet the guests of our forum. It's very important for us. And this is the 6th time we are holding this Sibai forum. We call it Sabantui, the Plow Festival, economic forum, and we do it quite deliberately because it's the region which we are developing, improving its investment attractiveness. And when I'm looking at the circle of participants, we have more than 15 countries already participating this time in this festival. This is the first time we're having this, and the delegations of other regions, we see that the interest is growing. It's not by accident, and in order to promote the investment attractiveness of a region, it takes a lot of efforts. Because one thing is to develop investment in a very well-developed city, for example, Ufar, Stерлитамак, or Kumertau. Actually, it's much easier. And I would like to thank the organizers of this forum, and special words of gratitude to the administration team of Sibai. Also, my gratitude goes to them. I see that the grass is cut, the trees are cropped, and there was a lot of work done to bring the city to order and to do some household preparations. Bashkortostan has always been a very hospitable region, and I'm sure that our guests will feel comfortable here and pleasant. Now, let's talk on the subject. First of all, regarding our friendly nations and delegates who have come, there is a joke, a famous joke about us, about the Bashkir people. Once a Bashkir people was asked, you managed to do many things. What is the recipe of success? Well, we, the Bashkirs, we say we have a principle, alha. Alha means ahead. Well, we always go ahead, and any kind of obstacles, we always go ahead, alha. Just we don't stop. What do you mean you don't stop? Well, we don't, I mean it. And what if there is a huge wall until as high as the sky? You can't go around. Well, what we do, we turn around, we make a U-turn, and again said, alga. Exactly the same story happened with us in terms of foreign economic activities. We, as we understand, mistakenly, all of our resources, all of our energy, we were focusing on forming close economic ties with the countries which, in my opinion, they just betrayed us. Because we were honest, we did the fair play, but at the moment when our Western counterparts, when suddenly they began breaking all the economic logistics ties, we found ourselves in a very difficult situation. And this tall wall as high as the sky has grown. We turned around, we said Alga, and we went eastwards, and we saw a completely different situation. I can give a very simple example. Well, the buses, electric buses, petrol buses, which are used in Moscow, well, the major assemblies and units came from Germany, including the gearbox. But the management of our Nefas company, just within several months, we solved this challenge because our counterparts from China, they helped us. Well, soon we will completely localize our production, but right now there is a differentiation of labor at a global scale because we do some things good, but in some things we outsource. So we're opening new opportunities. We are opening new friends and new partners. And we do this gradually in a well-understandable manner. We have a tool set. Well, in the first place, it's a goodwill of the government. And we're very thankful. And we see, speaking about the People's Republic of China, how warm, how respectable relations and trustworthy relations we have between the heads of the Russian Federation and China. We are intensively developing our relations with the Turkish Republic of Turkey, mutual respect of both leaders. Speaking about Uzbekistan, again, we have a big delegation working here. Well, the past week, we had 5 delegations of 5 Akim regions, and the Minister of Energy of Uzbekistan visited us. We permanently see desire to cooperate, and the basis is proper relations, goodwill relations between the countries, which give us at the level of regions and even at the level of companies, private business, to develop all our economic activities at the same time. And it's important, same as any region of Russia, and which is important, just like our partners, the regions of our states. Well, I'm answering the question which you asked. We have a large, as we say, menu to establish comfortable conditions for business. It's very broad. It includes priority projects, taxation, discounted customs clearance, subsidies for the engineering infrastructure, special economic zones, accelerated development area, clusters, industrial parks, and technoparks. We have a whole bunch of services which make your work easier, but nothing outstanding in my opinion. Every region has that. What we have been following for our administration team, for our government of the Republic, the defix is, if I may say so, attracting investment. I have mentioned it many times and keep saying Bashkortostan at a certain point was not properly understood and not underrated a region among the Russian regions, but in the past years what we did, we gradually were forming the infrastructure, legislation for the investment. But the main thing what we're trying to attain was trust. Yes, there is such a thing as trust. If the administrative team, if a leader, if the head of the region is trusted, it means that you can rely. Success is possible. If you deceive somebody once, the investor, this community is very transparent. We're trying to build the conditions of trust. It's a complex process. It takes years, and it makes you keep alert, and it's very intensive. There is a lot of tension. But in my opinion, we managed to succeed, and I would like to thank our colleagues here. One more thing I would like to mention is that we are making the legislation more simple. We remove bureaucracy barriers as much as possible. The investment legislation was formed quite quickly, and it took a lot of time, and we were very happy when we accomplished this. Well, I will not probably go exhausting you with the figures. All the indexes of industrial production are very high. There is a lot to be proud of in the given difficult conditions and times. We consulted investors. Some of them are sitting here in this hall. Are you happy with what you have? They said, no, absolutely no. Too much paperwork, too much bureaucracy. Something you are requiring is not necessary. You are asking for a business plan, but you don't understand what's the purpose of it. You make us give some financial reports, show the amount of money we're planning to invest. You want us to give a confirmation of the balance that we have on our accounts. And we removed all that. The investors will confirm what they do. They submit a declaration, which is as big as just 2 or 3 pages, and also a conclusion on the protection and promotion of investment, which serves as a basis for far more important things. For example, allocation of land plots without trade, without competition. As I mentioned, we increased the total amount of investment projects. Well, a good plan is a costly and time-consuming thing. Business should decide themselves the goals and tasks which they should accomplish. And we are guided by this factor. It's very important. Well, at one of my domestic political track, I'm criticized. Some people say Khabirov again allocated land plots without competition, without tender. But it's a good thing, because land should be used. It shouldn't be left unattended. And it's a good thing if you provide it to the investor who will do something to it. At the same time, we imposed some restrictions. You cannot use the land plot which you are allocated with for some purposes other than those declared by you initially, for the good purposes, for the well-being. But actually, we don't have anything like that, luckily. And more land plots are provided without competition, without a tender, and we see new enterprises growing, successful ones. So I would like to mention once again that gradual work during these years, to a certain extent, it allowed Bashkortostan to be open for investment. Bashkortostan is trusted. The administrative team of Bashkortostan is very much trusted. We have resources. Our colleagues from Uzbekistan applied to us. They said they are ready to grow, to do cattle breeding. We are willing to provide land plots. Many regions, unfortunately, they have a deficiency for land plots, including the feedstock, the feed base. We can start companies which will provide feedstock for the cattle. Well, the availability of resources, adequate investment base, suiting and willingness of the administrative team to achieve success. I think these are the paramount things. I'm sorry for giving this lengthy presentation. Mr. Khabirov, thank you much. This is very exhaustive. I had a question, what ALGA actually means. Now I know that it's a special economic zone. Just for the audience, I would like to say that it was considered, it received an award as the best economic development area. And one of the key missions is import substitution. And you've mentioned mechanisms which allow to invest without any difficulties in the region and in Bashkortostan. How do you think, which of them is the most efficient? Many regions, they provide land plots free of charge or for some very limited amount of money, or the companies may enjoy discounted taxation. How do you think which of the tools is the most successful? Well, you know, it's hard to say. I think it's an integral index, but I will repeat. We carefully review the performance, how other regions are doing in certain areas. And just like obedient and hard-working students, we look at other regions, we see their best practices, we inherit them, Moscow regions, St. Petersburg, Tatarstan, Chelyabinsk, Yekaterinburg. each region has its own solutions and best practices, but I think the preferential measures they implement and we implement is more or less the same. What we're talking about, I mentioned resources. We still have vacant land resources, we have funds, we have human resources. I think these things, they enrich, they contribute to the overall integral indexes. We, the heads of the regions, and we are in a very fierce competition between each other. I will speak for ourselves. It has never happened that we were pooling the investors or trying them to convince to choose our region instead of some other region. I think we, the governors, we have other tasks, other goals and challenges we need to settle, and support of each other is very important. And I think, once again, a competent team is important. You've mentioned Uzbekistan. This is one of the major partners, not at the given stage, but historically since Soviet times. We were a single country, actually. Now we're sovereign countries, but nevertheless, trade is developing. It's a huge and rich country, abundant. Before the panel discussion, we talked with the head of Uzbekistan. The population is 37 million already. And of course, those traditional types of trade relations, which we see, they could be expanded, I think. From Uzbekistan, as I said, fruit, textile, fabric from our side, traditional gas and oil, and we also cooperate in technologies. And how do you see the future of the investments at the regional level of our countries? And of course, could you please explain the nature of such a huge amount of inter-regional, inter-state contacts? Because lately 7 delegations of Uzbekistan visited us. Soon delegation from Bashkortostan will go to Uzbekistan. Tomorrow the President Vladimir Putin will visit Tashkent. So I think that this is the time to move ahead together. Please, you're welcome.
Включен.
Включен, да?
It's on.
Я вот сегодня понял, почему
Now I understand why we increased the number of our delegations over the last time. We drink tea from hemp. I tried this tea today, and I realized why my colleagues like this tea. Today I drank tea from 200-year-old samovar or teapot. This is the secret. It's a little additional commentary.
мы сегодня разговаривали,
Today we were talking,
наши отношения.
having a conversation, and concluded that we really aspire for friendly relations between us, but I guess that our relations should even be like family ones.
На самом деле, сегодня
In truth, today we signed a roadmap with 95 items. It includes different projects related not only with fruits and vegetables, or oil and gas, but it includes many technological industries and spheres. I spent 10 years working in a drilling service company, then spent a few years in the largest metallurgy integrated plant in Uzbekistan. And I must state that Uzbeki entrepreneurs would
жители, я
appreciate the arranged work at Sibay plant, copper smelting and copper mining plants.
Это проект, который даст импульс
This is the project that will facilitate not only our relations, but also this region and this town. We have several directions of our work. One of them is industrial cooperation that implies involvement of Bashkir industrialists and manufacturers operating in Uzbekistan. In particular, we have a chemical cluster. It will include 2 enterprises to be launched. Besides, we have a construction material sphere in common. We plan to build the household electronics factory in Bashkortostan. The turnover of commodities over the last 5 years increased by 3 times and reached $170 million. To achieve our goals, we also focus on wholesale distribution hubs. Our agricultural farmers who cultivate fruit face one problem in Moscow. They cannot submit their fruit for storage because there are too many intermediaries. The requirements are too hard to get through. That's why reselling makes the retail price for the products too high. Yeah, we experienced that. Yeah. So we have an idea to establish a wholesale distribution center in Bashkortostan, which will store fruits and vegetables from Uzbekistan and distribute them nationwide.
Насколько нынешние времена и сложности внешней...
How would you assess the current situation in the light of sanctions, challenges, the fact that we don't have SWIFT, that there is no MasterCard or Visa working, without international corporations that used to interfere severely into the foreign trade? Well, we don't have any problems settling balances. My eldest daughter lives and studies in Uzbekistan. I send her money in Uzbeki som, and she receives this money in rubles without any problems. In the light of the international events, I would say that soon we are holding a meeting in Uzbekistan as international partners, and no external factors can stop us from doing it, prevent us from doing it. Many citizens of Uzbekistan have visited Bashkortostan and Russia. Annually, our country grows by 1 million people of potential labor resources. And it's very hard to provide this many people with jobs. That's why Bashkortostan receives Uzbeki citizens as human resources. And I guess the challenges do not interfere with our lives that much. Of course, our key trade partner is China. The digits that the Russian and Chinese trade shows are outstanding. I realize that it equals to around 240 billion or 220 billion. The difference in these figures is related to the exchange rate. That's why I guess we should calculate our turnover of commodities in RMB or rubles. I would like to ask the question to Zhao Zhan. You represent a region which is so far not very prominent in the foreign trade with the Republic of Bashkortostan or other regions, but it is obvious that we can be useful for one another. We can offer each other cooperation that will be favorable for both nations. So what would you say about this?
首先呢，我想借这个，
We really appreciate
首先呢，我想感谢巴什克图斯坦这个共和国对
that you invited me, and I would like to thank the Republic of Bashkortostan for this kind invitation. I am very glad that entrepreneurs are able to take part in such forums, visit the Republic of Bashkortostan.
到
I see many entrepreneurs from the entire Urals here, and we can see how the region is developing. We can see and be glad that all the customs and traditions are preserved.
我们感到非常的开心。
In truth, the folk dances look a lot like Chinese ones. It's our first time in Bashkortostan,
巴什克图斯坦共和国驻
and I would like to mention that
阿萨杜林
representatives of Bashkortostan in China, namely Mr. Asadulin, in March contacted us, and their representatives visited Lanzhou, Gansu, China,
我们邀请了
and had a meeting. We outlined the plan of developing our relations. We saw many state representatives and members of the business community.
东北省份哈尔滨市
It was 10 days ago when the Harbin hosted
巴什克图斯坦共和
an exhibition, and we were glad to see the stand of the Republic of Bashkortostan there. I was very glad to meet Mr. Nazarov there and discuss our challenges with him. We exchanged opinions. Going back to your question, I would like to say that now
2400亿美金，
our cooperation, especially the trade turnover, commodity turnover, is growing rapidly. We attain new goals. We have entered the new stage, the new milestone of our cooperation.
非常愿意
In fact, we need to remember that our countries
巴斯坦提出
are located along the Silk Way,
巴什克图斯坦，就是因为
and that's one of the reasons why we are here. Why Bashkortostan? Because the national representatives, members of the business community, are very enthusiastic to facilitate interregional cooperation. I'm very glad that we have this opportunity. We know that historically we've been partners. In 1950s, the Soviet Union supported us greatly. We are traditional partners. Gansu province is an oil refining region. We have oil refining enterprises. We have raw materials enterprises. All of them were established in cooperation with the Soviet Union specialists. Currently, we require some metals, some fossils, and we expect that
乌拉尔的重机厂
our contacts
建了一个石油
will bring us to the efficient result, just like it was 30 years ago when we were buying oil refining equipment from the Ural enterprises. Still, until today, this equipment is essential for our equipment. That's why I am very optimistic. I'm convinced that we are one of the most advanced manufacturers of equipment, the most advanced engineers. We are leaders. We can export equipment to Bashkortostan. That's first. And second,
进口
we really hope
这个粮食
to buy wheat, timber, cereals, crops. We hope that as soon as possible we will find new partners here for more industries and more vectors. such as agriculture. Gansu is an agricultural province, is a farming province. We have associated infrastructure. We have perfect methods to grow food.
一个框架合作协议。
Today we have irrigation, innovative developments. That's why we hope that
能够带到因为我们
our various solutions in irrigation, in farming, will be of interest to you, and we will be able to tell you about them. We have more industries and spheres to offer. We have resin, we have rubber, synthetic rubber.
产品，我们也希望能够跟巴什克尔托斯坦合作。
We have transportation tapes made of high quality synthetic rubbers and other rubber items which have extremely high quality. They are very superior.
跟俄罗斯
We work very closely, and
空间，
this work will facilitate in developing new ideas.
地方经贸推介会的
Naturally, sometimes we miss information. Like in March, we had a meeting in Lanzhou.
搭建地方政府间的合作平台，
We are supposed to learn more about one another. I am the representative of the Foreign Affairs Office of Gansu Province, and that's why I would like to emphasize how interested we are in strengthening relations between our regions. We have to exchange delegations, we have to exchange information, get to know one another, understand one another. It is a great importance. It will be a great foundation for our future cooperation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. This is very exhaustive and a lot of areas for cooperation, which you've mentioned. And I hope that businessmen who are here with you, they found partners in Bashkortostan. And all this will lead to firm agreements and long-term, long-lasting economic cooperation. Thank you so much again for that. We have businessmen from Turkey, and in general, the specifics of economy in Turkey is very much similar to Bashkortostan. Agriculture, gastronomy, light industry, many other things. Turkey and Bashkortostan has very much in common economy-wise. A lot of businessmen in Turkey, they work at this forum, and I hope that there will be firm contracts signed on cooperation. And I would like to Ibrahim Bey, the honored Mr. Ibrahim, what have you brought this time? What are the areas of cooperation with Bashkortostan?
Переговоры на
Were your
планом
negotiations, did you achieve any plans of cooperation? Do you have any agreements?
Sesimi duyurabiliyorum değil mi? Tamam. Şunu çıkarayım. Öncelikle Türkiye'den
First of all, I'm happy to greet all of you. Very warm greetings from Turkey. Salam in Turkish. From all the members of our Association of Russian-Turkish Businessmen. We're very grateful for the organization of the forum. I just looked at the list of participants who spoke and presented at this plenary session. I see that I'm probably the only businessman who is involved in this kind of business, and I will probably speak for all the companies of Turkey today. I was supposed to deliver a presentation. I'm not sure if we can have it on the screen.
teşekkür ediyorum. İlerleyelim lütfen.
Please, let's go on. In 1987, our company was established in Turkey. I was 22 years old back then. So it's been 38 years that I've been doing this business.
İnsanlığın
And Our goal was to develop solutions for the problems which the humanity couldn't overcome back then and expand the boundaries of technologies and making life of people cleaner and more comfortable. We had this kind of idealistic goal, mission. As of now, we have 4,500 square meters of research labs, floor area. We develop new technologies for the production of food, and we're trying to resolve the problem of the lack of drinking water, energy, safety of construction of accommodation. For Turkey, it's very acute pollution of environment, and we have 18 companies in our holding who are involved in the development of humane and environmentally safe systems and solutions for the problems which I've mentioned before. We have 36 PhDs. We have a huge academic pool of scientists. Every year we defend patents, theses for the PhD degrees, etc., master's degrees. And of course, the population of the Earth grows, but the opportunities to introduce new technologies are becoming less. We should find more rational technologies of the use of drinking water. We should find more efficient ways of the use of land for agriculture. And as of today, we have 36 PhD theses defended only in the subjects of extensions of the use of existing drinking water sources in a more saving way, seismically safe models of construction of accommodation in seismically safe, sensitive regions. We registered more than 100 patents. 70% of the patents have already been implemented in the industry. In the previous slide, by the way, you could see next to me the Prime Minister of Turkey. Every year we present our new projects, and the government of Turkey pays much attention to R&D. Every year we provide technical and financial support to 10 postgraduate students who works in the most prospective areas from our point of view for the humanity, to make life safer and happier on the planet. We developed our technopark similar to Skolkovo in Russia. In this slide, you may see, when I talked to businessmen here, I saw that there is a lot of youth and students, but not too many R&D centers. And I thought maybe we could start our R&D center, which could implement Turkish technologies and our patents in Bashkortostan and new innovations. Regarding R&D, 6% of our income we spend annually for development of our R&D centers. Every year in the leading media, global media, we publish articles. In 38 years, we spent 98 million United States dollars. This is just our internal funds. We don't attract external sources. So part of the projects are purchased by the government and they're implemented.
Ana konsantrasyonlarımız
These are the main areas which our scope of interest, which we can implement them in Bashkortostan. This thermodynamics, liquid mechanics, software, hardware, etc. So we have several large investment projects. You can see the map and their distribution. Can you please press on Bogen, Germany? The largest project is in Germany. If you could click the word Bogen, please. Angela Merkel, she participated. Well, okay. In Turkey, in several cities, we created smart cities in various regions who had difficulties with construction, especially in seismically sensitive areas, we received a lot of awards for research and development activities aimed at the well-being
Devam lütfen.
of humanity. You can see the president and the Prime Minister of Turkey giving awards to the management of our company.
Tarladan ya da bir seradan ya da bir evden çıkan
One more project which I would like to share with you. I think we can implement it in the territory of Bashkortostan.
yaptık.
Hydrocyclical greenhouses, they are heated through hydroponics, hydrothermal sources.
için çok hayırlı bir teknoloji.
And I think that it's a very interesting and useful technology for the humankind. We lead all the greenhouse effect to zero, and we build greenhouses where we grow fruits and vegetables without the use of any source of heat, only with the help of thermal heat of the earth from the thermal sources. It's very popular in Turkey. We invested a lot of money into the research of this kind to prepare the mechanism of this cyclical economy. And in Turkey, we in several villages, we grow environmentally friendly plants with zero emission using this technology, and also we build biologically safe homes. People use healthy products, and there are no chemicals or any chemical waste here. And I just thought maybe this technology, it's patented. We have a patent. In Germany, we built a city of this kind, and also several towns in Turkey. Maybe in Bashkortostan we could do something similar. It's a complex technology, but humanity needs it because the amount of population grows and the amount of waste grows. So we should do as much as we can to
Lütfen.
to transfer the planet to the next generations, clean, pure. But in our cities and towns, we follow the philosophy of zero waste. We don't incinerate, we don't burn waste. We recycle all the waste to make sure that the city or town is environmentally friendly. One more model which we actually use in African countries is solving the problem of drinking water. I'm not sure if I still have time. Well,
Bir daha söyler misiniz?
You have 1 minute.
Bir dakika.
you have 1 minute more.
Birse aşağısı 9'dur. Bizim aşağısı
One more technology is the use of icebergs. Our scientists, they created a process according to which we could develop shipment of drinking water from the sources of the part of the iceberg which is not visible, which is underwater. We're preparing this technology for the market. Soon it will enter the market in agriculture, energy production, in the manufacture of pipes, transportation of water, construction, healthcare. We have 18 companies in our holding that are involved both in R&D and in the modeling and simulation of research in the given areas. For example, we built
söylemişti.
smart agricultural lands which completely cater for the needs of a given region in environmentally friendly and safe fruits and vegetables. And the people who live, they are guaranteed with jobs, and they enjoy healthy and environmentally friendly life. We build cities and towns with zero emissions, or technologies which allows to grow out of one tomato seed we can grow 20 tons of tomatoes, well, probably I will not speak about each of the project in much detail. They are quite complex, and I'm overflown with the ideas after I saw a lot of things in Bashkortostan. I hope that some of the projects which we're implementing globally, I'm sure that we will implement some of them in the territory of Bashkortostan. I'm sorry, maybe it was too quick, but, well, absolutely not. Such results when 20 tons of tomatoes out of one seed. Is that what you said?
Tohumdan 20.000 adet. Eğer arkadaşlar
za какой срок?
tıklayabilirlerse görebilirler. Burada şunu keşfet.
I mean it.
Bir tohuma ne kadar potansiyel yüklemiş. Biz araştırmacıyız ya.
Out of one tomato seed, 20,000 tomatoes. Pieces, I mean, not tons. And we see that this potential is still not exhausted. And I see that in Bashkortostan we can grow even more. We have a lot of we saw a lot of unique offers which could be used both in Bashkortostan and throughout the country. I followed on our experts. Our Chinese colleagues listened very carefully because what our colleagues from Turkey mentioned, they look very far-reaching. We see that all the offers, investment offers, they simultaneously come with technology basis. It's very important given the tasks which the president has established. Technology independence is something that is a priority, and here we cover very big distances in very short periods of time, and we try to rectify failures. I would like to address Alexander. Well, of course, we need to reach all those goals which the president actually set for us. I would like to get to know the role of the regions in how they contribute to the attainment of technological independence, especially such a very well-developed, a locomotive of Russian economy, Bashkortostan.
Спасибо большое, Евгений.
Thank you, Evgeny, for your question, dear Mr. Habirov, dear participants of the forum. In truth, the topic of the session is very responsible, but very important. In February this year, the President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin, established the strategy of our development for the Russian Federation and outlined the key priorities that we will focus on, and all the authorities shall focus on when they form their technological independence.
Так скажем, тезис и не просто то, что сейчас.
This thesis is not just a motto. It is something that is actually happening and unfolding very rapidly. What has changed? Over 4 or even 3 years is that
Произошло признание. Признание
we faced the acknowledgement. We were acknowledged as one of the strong technological players, not only for our own market, but on the international arena. We were acknowledged as entrepreneurs.
как
The entrepreneurs are subjects that can produce technologies of the global level. Unfortunately,
определенными сложностями,
it was associated with certain challenges like the pandemic and certain limitations,
которые порой
forced import substitution.
что
But now we realize that we can do it, and we do it.
реализует огромные
Russia is now unfolding large infrastructural projects in transportation, science,
высокоскоростных магистралей,
high-speed motorways, automotive industry, railway industry. We are constructing a large network of education and research centers, global level, world-class campuses. And it reflects and uncovers the potential of the regions. The state has comprehended themselves as the key customer of innovations and technologies. It is a very responsible role. The state realizes their role not only as the consumer, but also as the regulative structure that provides facilities for unfolding this potential. As the Association of Innovative Regions, this year we conducted a research of the innovative and investment infrastructure. Over 3,000 infrastructural facilities are now operating in the different regions of the Russian Federation, and this is the vast resource.
Как Башкирия
How Bashkortostan looks in this slide is in top 10 of the most advanced regions in Russia in terms of infrastructure and quality of its operation. Bashkortostan now demonstrates a role model of a responsible and brave customer. Today we had a session for development of unmanned aerial technologies and considered what is happening in Bashkortostan. Bashkortostan is now experiencing a unique experiment, a unique process. Over 1 or 2 years, Bashkortostan will alter the local economy drastically. Now we are establishing a center for operation of unmanned aerial technologies, which is not concentrated on a certain industrial sphere, but is creating a single, united, joint coordination center that will comply with the needs of the infrastructural facilities, agriculture, and will take into account available resources. It's not only a competence center, it will also train how to operate UAVs, and it will consolidate the knowledge base. The team in Bashkortostan demonstrates a very prominent role model for many regions. We form these little sandboxes, legal sandboxes, and it allows us to form technologies very rapidly. All this infrastructure created over the last years, the altered approach to business and entrepreneurship, as Radi Habirov mentioned in his report, outlines that entrepreneurs are drivers of the economy. They are foundation for the development of the region. It is something that allows Russia and Russian regions attain the goals set by the president. To sum it up, I would like to describe what's going on in Russia. The topic of today's discussions is Russia in the spotlight. That's why I would like to give the commentary that was done by Berchakov. Russia is concentrating. This is exactly what is happening. Thank you very much. It is very important that you mentioned entrepreneurs, because I remember when Reshetnikov entered the State Duma after the first year after the military operation started, he said very clearly that our economy stood tall thanks to entrepreneurs' initiative. Here in the Republic of Bashkortostan, Mr. Habirov works and realizes it very well with his team. You have Bashneft, it's true, but it's not a reason to relax. You shouldn't just rely on them. The Republic cannot be an internal donor. And Habirov makes sure that Bashkortostan and the government will provide support, will help and assist. You mentioned the project of UAVs, and it's a very good technology to focus on right now. It's very promising. And the management tactics matters. That's why we're so grateful to Mr. Habirov for your work, for your efficacy, for your team, for your results and achievements, which go far beyond the region of the Republic of Bashkortostan. I would like to thank all of our participants for such a saturated, busy discussion, enthusiastic suggestions and offers. I'm very glad that you have held so many meetings under this forum, which I hope will result in solid agreements. As I mentioned before, Bashkortostan signed an agreement worth 100 billion during the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum, and I guess this forum will one day overcome this figure. Yesterday we had a meeting of the Club of the Strategic Initiatives and assessed investment climate in municipalities, discussed conditions on how to create favorable investment climate, and discussed the most principal document is the municipal standard, which has been working since 2019 in the Republic of Bashkortostan. In September 2023, this work was launched on the municipal level. Deputy Minister of Economic Development of the Russian Federation also mentioned the success of the Republic of Bashkortostan in this field. The Republic has a substantial experience in introducing this standard in the municipal level. 80% of municipalities now have been introduced this standard, and this standard now relies on the regional one. Now I would like to announce the results of implementing this standard aimed to form the favorable investment climate in the Republic of Bashkortostan in 2023. Let me remind you that the distribution of the leaders is traditionally conducted in 3 categories. Now on your screen you will be able to see the result. The winners in the category city districts are top 3 Ufa. Your applause. Top 2 Neftekamsk. Top 1 Stерлитамак. Municipality districts with city settlements as the centers. First prize, Tumazinsky district. Second prize, Dyrchelinsky district. First prize, Ishimbaisky district. One more category, rural municipal districts. Third prize, Sharansky district. Second prize, Kiginsky district. First prize, Salovatsky district. My congratulations to our winners. Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you for taking part in the plenary session. Thank you for coming. Thank you for hosting the forum. Thank you for being experts in this panel discussion. Thank you.